it's Mia from the Cozy Bookshop, and I am here today to talk about my best and worst of 2017. It's crazy to think that it's already the end of the year. It's crazy to think that we're already looking into a new reading year and wrapping up 2017. So to start with, this year so far as of this point, it is the 22nd of December. I have currently read 38, I believe. I'm on my 39th book. By the time the 31st of December rolls around, I hope to have completed 40 books for the year. That was my goal. And I think I should have no issue getting to that. My current read is The Invasion of the Tierling. Next on my list is End of Watch by Stephen King. So that will round out my year for 2017 with those two books. Today, I want to talk about what I thought my best books were, what I thought I don't want to say worst, but maybe most disappointing. I didn't really have any truly just awful books I had one that I just did not like, but for the most part, the books that I found kind of made this list were the ones that disappointed me more than anything. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm going to start with the ones that most disappointed me, and then work into the ones that I loved, and then to my best read of 2017. One of my more disappointing books that I've read this year, and it pains me to say this because I had high hopes for it, was The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I had really high hopes for it, and I didn't hate it. I did enjoy reading it, but it definitely was not the most amazing change my life novel. It was just a really nice coming of age story, but I was kind of disappointed. I think I felt like I needed a little bit more. I've heard nothing but good things about it, so I felt like, oh my god, this is gonna be so incredible, and it just didn't capture me like that. So that is the one that I'm probably the least disappointed about in my stack. And I'll say I have 3 for disappointed, 3 for best. So I tried to just narrow it down. I would have had a much larger list for best, but I felt I needed to keep it short and simple. The next book on my disappointed list was The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. I love J.K. Rowling. This is not a new thing. I loved the Harry Potter series, changed my life. I don't need to go into that. Her writing under her pseudonym of Robert Galbraith is really, really good. I really enjoy those books. But this one just didn't do it for me. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. This book kind of went nowhere. I did not enjoy it. I think it would be good as a TV show. It was a HBO miniseries, which I kind of want to look up because I feel like it does have a good plot for a TV show. just not for a book. I felt like it just didn't go anywhere. When it wrapped up, I was kind of like, thank God, it's done. I'm so glad it's over with. So this one, and I actually I liked it the least to go ahead and get rid of it. So that is the second one of my most disappointing reads, and the one that I'm probably the most disappointed in and let down by and just really not happy with and did not like was Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerri Maniscalco. This is probably the most unpopular opinion I've had. Everybody raves and raves and raves about this book, and I could not stand it. I just did not. They threw with love interests in there. I could go on and on and on about this book, and I won't because there's just so much that I did not care for. By the time I got to the end of it, once again, I was kind of like, I didn't even feel like thank God it's over. I was just kind of like, okay. I just was not, I was expecting something fantastic, something really atmospheric, and I just was not getting anything from this. So this was easily my most disappointed, most disliked book of the year. just not a fan, and that's okay. If you're a fan, I'm totally okay with that. Like, that's fine. I'm glad that you found a book that you loved. It was not for me, though. Not for me at all. On to the books that I loved this year. The first one that I want to talk about is Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. Holy crap, this was the first novel I read by her. I have not been disappointed once by her. I've read 2, including this one. I have a 3rd on my list of books to read in 2018. I've not seen the TV adaptation of it yet. It's on my list of adaptations to watch, but I loved Big Little Lies. I did not see the twists and turns coming in the story. I saw like 1 or 2, but on the whole, when you look at the story as a whole, I did not see the ending in sight at all. I loved the way she wrote it. It really just spun me a pretty tale that I could not pick down. So I highly recommend Big Little Lies, obviously. The next book on my list that really just took my breath away is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I feel like I should say I've been kind of stepping away from the fantasy genre because I find that for me, I get into fantasy like every once in a while where I really just, that's all I want to read. But for the most part, when I'm picking up fantasy novels, I need a book that is steeped somewhat still in reality, that you can still like pick the real world apart in there. And Patrick Rothfuss, the way he created this whole world, it's not real, but there is a school system, there is barter, there's trade. The way he put this world together, it feels like the real world, and it is incredible. I can't believe that I put this book down twice, and I can't believe I put it down twice. Once I got past like the initial 20 pages, there's the very beginning of it is kind of like, what? But once you get into the story, it just draws you in. Rothfuss has created such a world with such care. I feel like I could be like, ask him a specific detail that's like a minor background detail, and he would have an answer right away. Like, he has just crafted a world start to finish, top to bottom. Every little detail has been seen to, and it is incredible. And so this was definitely one of my top books of the year. It is a tome. It is absolutely incredible. I highly, highly, highly recommend this. Even if you don't think you are one for fantasy, or one who kind of like really wants to delve into that whole magic and like magicianry and all that stuff, I promise you it is worth it. It approaches the magical element in such a way where you don't even realize that you're in that. And I just love it. Like I said, I could go on about this for a long time, but I'm not going to, because that's not what this video is. It's not about me raving and ranting. It's just my best and worst. So yeah, Patrick Rothfuss, The Name of the Wind, one of my top books of 2017. And my top book of 2017, I just finished this last week. I'm still dealing with it. I've moved on books and I'm still reeling from the feelings that this book gave me and just the state that it put me in. And that is The Storyteller by Jodi Picoult. Oh my gosh. This book, when you think of it as just a book and you relate it to just the story and the overall theme of forgiveness to just this story, that in and of itself is incredible. I cried over this book. I'm still crying over this book. I can't even really like form my thoughts completely because I'm still reeling in that exact feeling. So, once again, The Storyteller is another one that I could just go on and on and on about. I'm not quite to the point where I can do like a book chat about it, but I'm hoping to get there soon. So those are my best and worst of the year. Like I said, it's not really worst of the year. It's kind of just the most disappointing books I've read this year. I didn't really read... Stalking Jack the Ripper got close to like just being an awful book for me, but I wouldn't categorize it as such. It was just not for me. So those are my best and most disappointing books of 2017. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'd love to hear from you. What books did you read in 2017 that you were blown away by, and what books just didn't really have stock for you? Leave me a comment down below.